I'm your host, Faye Rucker, here with my co-host, Rovonda Doty. Today's guest has walked through layers of pain, financial hardship, family hurt, and even church hurt that left some deep scars on how she saw herself. Growing up plus size, she was faced with body dysmorphia and self-esteem battles that could have actually defined her story, but she refused to stay there. She has lost over 160 pounds, built a thriving wellness community, and now stands as a bold advocate for self-acceptance, health, and empowerment. Her platform helps people to break shame, find confidence, and live their best life at any size. So we are honored to have her with us here today. So help me please welcome Jasmine Saifo, better known as Styles by Jazz.
Thank you so very much for this opportunity and for this amazing podcast to have this amazing conversation about transparency and triumph. So, as she stated, yes, my name is Jasmine Saifo, but most people know me as Styles by Jazz. I am a beauty influencer, a holistic care and scout specialist, and the founder of the Beauty Pro Network, where I teach other beauty professionals how to grow their businesses without the burnout. I also created the Positively Plus community, which is a safe space for women to redefine health, beauty, and confidence. And also through my TLC, shout out to Total Life Changes partnership, I help transform their minds, bodies, and bank accounts, which is very important. And I'm passionate about showing women what's possible when we combine faith, wellness, and entrepreneurship. So thank you so much for having me.
Amen. So let's go back. Let's start at the beginning because I want people to get to know you, know your background, where you came from, how all of this started, so then we can show them the pivot and the beautiful journey that you're on right now. So growing up, what were some of the toughest messages you received about yourself, whether from family, church, or society, that shaped how you saw your worth?
There are a few that come to mind, and I'm sure maybe some of us can relate to it. And being seen and not heard, that was a message that rang very true. You got to get along, get along. That was a message that rang very strongly. And one that really hit home for me was, I'm pretty, right? Jazz, you so pretty, right? But you'd be even prettier if you lost some weight because ain't no man gonna want no big woman. That was also a message that was said to me. And this one, which I speak with a lot of my clients about the most, and that there is no money, there's no career in the beauty industry, right? And one of which that I talk about the most, and that is the message that it don't take all that. And the family rejection, the church silence, the poverty cycles, like all of these things make me question my worth, right? And the pain that was birthed through my passion on helping women now, you know what I'm saying, through my salon of renewed hair therapy and the communities that I'm building, it helps me make it to where women no longer not feel seen. I want to make it a point so that women don't feel invisible, that they feel empowered to take agency over their lives, their money, their health, and all of the things.
Wow, and that's important. That's definitely important. Can you share what it was like navigating financial and family struggles at the same time battling the body dysmorphia?
Absolutely, absolutely. So I grew up in survival mode. A lot of trauma, emotional, physical, mental, and sexual. Many different forms of abuse. Money was tight and food was not always healthy, or even readily available. And I struggle with body image because I'm in an environment that's telling me how big I am, right? But yet you're telling me how plus size I am and how overweight I am, yet we congregate to do everything around food. Right. And so it's like I'm struggling with these body images, and then they turn around and judge you when you do try, in the Black communities and in families, when you say you want to pull back a little bit, you get talked about. You're the butt of the joke. Right. And I was also told that at my biggest, when I was a 6X, 513 pounds, right. When I then experienced sexual abuse, right, from a space where I was supposed to feel trust and I was supposed to feel safe and I was supposed to feel okay. Right. So it's like these conflicting messages. You're telling me that I'm so big, but you're putting all this food around me. And then I was violated in the worst way. You know what I'm saying? And so I had a lot of skewed views on how I saw myself, And I cared too much about what other people thought or how they saw me or what they thought that I should be doing or how I should be speaking and presenting myself. And because of, the lack of parental support, unfortunately, and the guidance, I suffered like a lot, like a whole lot. I was hospitalized for 2.5 months. I literally became a teenager in the hospital. Shout out to Children's Hospital Oakland. And I had surgeries that left me with so many physical scars and a lot of pain. You know what I'm saying? And then again, before turning 21, I was hospitalized again. I'm a burn survivor. I do not say victim. I'm a burn survivor. I have over third-degree burns on over 25 to 30% of my body. And I took a lot of that spiritual, it took a lot of time for me to navigate all of these different things and figure out life. And it took a lot of spiritual maturity and reading the word of God and applying what I read in that word and therapy as well. And in college and in school, personal development, all of those things, I was able to heal, which is so very important. I was able to learn. I was able to unlearn and also relearn, right? What was necessary to help me grow and not allow my past to make me bitter, but to allow those experiences to empower me to become better. And that's why I push holistic beauty right now, because it's not just about hair or scalp or nutrition and wellness. It's about all of it because it's all interconnected. You know what I'm saying? People aren't experiencing hair loss for no reason, right? People are not overweight just for fun, right? Yeah, BBW is a cute term, but it's a lot of pain and a lot of weight that people don't see behind that, right? Beauty pros aren't complaining online about being burnt out just because it's trending and it's just something to talk about in the blogs. Like, people are literally hurting. And I'm just so grateful to God that He has trusted me to use my testimony to show women what's possible.
Amen. So, was there a specific moment or maybe a slow realization when you decided, I can't live like this anymore? Something has to change.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I've always been the outspoken one, right? And I've coined myself a righteous rebel. That's literally what it gives. I'm a righteous rebel at this point in my life. But I remember just being young and I didn't know everything, but I knew that what I was experiencing wasn't right. You know what I'm saying? And I got tired. You know what I mean? I got to the breaking point. I got tired of the same cycles of being unhealthy, of feeling stuck. And I made a decision. I made a decision that if I want more, I have to do more. You know what I'm saying? If I want to start seeing something differently, I got to start doing something different. And that moment sparked everything for me, from losing. I ain't gonna say losing, because it's like sometimes when you lose stuff, you find it again. And I ain't finding the way ever again.
I know that's right.
I'm gonna say, from releasing the 160 pounds to launching multiple businesses like Renewed Hair Therapy and the Beauty Pro Network, right? So just making that decision and choosing it every single day.
Wow.
I
Wow.
love it. She said,
Yes.
not lost, because it might come back. Listen, if you listening to
can
this
relate.
right now, take that nugget. Just go on, take that. You ain't lost
Yeah.
weight. You release that weight.
Release
Okay.
it, honey. Release
Yes. To never come back again.
never to
Seriously.
return.
Yeah. Well, what role would you say your faith and spirituality played in both hurting and healing you on your journey?
I would say knowing God for yourself. Like, you have to know that word for yourself, and not only just knowing it, but also applying it. So early faith environment for me looked like going to church with my grandmother. Shout out to my granny. And it's so funny because being young, you don't always want to go to church. At least I didn't. Because again, when you're getting conflicting messages, you know what I'm saying, from society, and then you got the lit side of the family, then you have the more conservative church going side of the family. And so I thank God for my grandmother empowering me to know God for myself. And so when I came into those very hard and challenging moments in life, I was able to go back to God. I was able to remember the stories of Job and how he was able to persevere and all of those, different things. So even though I experienced, church, hurt or judgment and being silenced and all of those different things, but later faith ended up being my foundation, and it's so funny because we hear those stories so many times about how, it took to, what they say, you understand it better by and by. So now faith, my faith is, it fuels my purpose work, entering beauty pros, my Positively Plus community, and even partnering with Total Life Changes because it's aligned with my mission to heal, you know what I'm saying? Mind, body, and bank accounts, all of the things.
Yes.
So let me ask you, with losing 160 pounds, which is incredible, okay? Let's put that out there. What did that process teach you about yourself beyond just the physical change? What do you feel like it taught you?
It taught me that literally anything that you want to do in this life, you can do.
Hmm. Yes.
Anything that you want to have, anywhere that you want to go. Like if it's in alignment and if it's God's will for your life, it can and will happen. Because not only did I release over 160 pounds, and I say over because we know when we're on a journey, you lose weight, then you gain it again, then you lose, you know what I'm saying? It's a teeter-totter, right? But nonetheless, it taught me discipline because I did it. I released all of that weight while being a newlywed, while going through and grieving relationships, failed expectations, failed dreams, and all of those different things, while being a caregiver to my mom who has Alzheimer's disease, while also struggling with PCOS. Yes, I am also a PCOS survivor, polycystic ovarian syndrome, which is a hormonal imbalance that fights against you to be able to lose the weight. So it's like if I could do it with all of these challenges stacked against me, also had a sleep apnea, because when you're over 500 and something pounds, I literally would stop breathing in my sleep. I used to have to sleep with this huge respirator mask on just so that I wouldn't die in my sleep. You know what I'm saying? And it literally just taught me discipline. It taught me resilience and consistency. Like it's a muscle, just like a muscle. You can use anything. God can use anything. And the same discipline helped me scale my salon and create content as a beauty influencer and now teaching marketing to other beauty pros. So it definitely discipline, resilience, and consistency. And if I can say something about consistency just for a second, because I feel like a lot of us say, I need help with being consistent. I struggle with consistency. Really, we don't. Because if you set an alarm that says that I am going to go for a walk today at 11:03, let's just say 11:03. I know it's a random time, but let's just say that. And that alarm comes on and you consistently hit snooze, that's consistency. You're consistently choosing the wrong things. And that's what I had to realize is that I had to be very intentional and lock in so that I can get it done. And I've shown myself it's proof of concept that it can be done. We serve this big, ginormous God that can heal, set free, and deliver, set the captives free. But he can't help you with being more intentional with what you're eating, with how you're treating yourself, with what you're saying to yourself, all of those things.
That's powerful. I think it is important. It leads into my next question. It's important to know that there has to be a mindset shift.
Yes.
Right? What mindset shift do you believe took place between you pursuing losing weight to embracing wellness and self-acceptance?
I smile at this question because it really just helped me tap into and just, like I said, take agency and ownership. Like, you are a big deal, Jazz. And it's okay to say that.
Yeah.
It's
my God.
To say that. It is like the Bible even says that we are a royal priesthood. We are a peculiar people. We are the head and not the tail. We are above and not beneath, all of these things. So I had to realize the mindset shift that it's not about shrinking. I can't keep shrinking myself to try and make myself more palatable to make other people feel comfortable. Jesus didn't do it. So why do we feel like we have to do it? So I had to realize that it's not about shrinking as much as it is about nourishing, and that's why I really love my partnership with Total Life Changes, because with the NutriBurst, which is the liquid multivitamin, or the Candy Cleanse, which helps you cleanse excess waste and toxins out of your body and things like that, the different products that we have, I use them for myself and I offer them to my clients for overall health. Right? It's about a wellness lifestyle. And that's another reason why I created the Positively Plus community, to show people, especially women, especially plus size women, that it's a lifestyle. It's not because you made a decision that you're going to, do a 30-day challenge, you know what I'm saying? And that's just the end of it. 30 days is not going to undo 30 years of, not sleeping well, not getting the proper rest, not letting somebody's raggedy son stress you out, whatever the case may be.
I love it. I love it. Listen, she said, keep y'all raggedy sons to yourself. Okay.
Listen,
So what did you discover about your community once you began creating space for others to walk their journey too?
I didn't realize how important community really truly is.
Wow. Now that's
Like when we say it takes a village, it literally takes a village. You know what I'm saying? And with the village, right? You also have to be a villager. You can't just want to come into the community and just want to take. You also have to contribute, right? You also have to pour. And I'm so grateful because I was, reflecting, they say hindsight is 2020. And I was reflecting on times where somebody somewhere, and yes, it may didn't come in the form of my mom or my dad or whatever the case may be, but God saw fit to send a sister at church or somebody off the street or a professor in one of my college classes, like whatever the case may have been, you know what I'm saying? To help fuse that community and to give me what it is that I needed. That's why I talk about tapping in. It's so important. It's not always going to come from where you might expect it to. The word says that God always has a ram in the bush. You know what I'm saying? And I literally live by that. People want safety. People are, looking for safe spaces and leadership, right? So it's important for me as a leader to lead from the front and lead by example as well. And that's by being a community builder, a community contributor, right? And also to, loving on God's people. Like I genuinely love his people. So that's why I created the communities that I did, because I didn't have that growing up. I didn't have the Beauty Pro Network. Nobody, listen, all I knew was that you get your cosmetology license and you do hair to the day you die. And there's so much more to the story. You know what I'm saying?
yes.
Realizing there's so many different ways that you can extract and still extract money, right? Build impact and still live the life that you want to live on your terms, of course, in alignment with what God would have for you. But yes, community was super, super important to help elevate, you know what I'm saying? To also share perspective and to, help us because we're better together. So community is a super, super crucial and an important thing for me in my businesses and in my personal life as well.
I love it. Now that you've built a platform, I love the word elevate. So now that you've built a platform as a plus size wellness advocate, what message do you hope everyone, every person who follows you walks away with?
I want you to know that you can rewrite your story.
Hmm.
I want you to know that. I need you to get that real deep in your DNA. Okay. Your past doesn't define your future. It doesn't. It literally does not. And just because you went through something, you were challenged by something, even if you made some mistakes, that was a moment. That's not who you are. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And everything that you've experienced and everything that you've been through, God can use it, right, to illustrate your next chapter. Because broken crayons still color, right? So even though you may have experienced some brokenness or some challenges or what have you, you can still rewrite your story, right? I'm literally living proof. Just a few weeks ago, I celebrated being featured in Pretty Women Hustle magazine. They wrote up a 3-page spread on me for my work that I'm doing in community and in the beauty, health, and wellness community. I was a beauty influencer just last week in Atlanta, all expense paid trip, an influencer trip. I received awards and I'm in the process of getting ready to launch a new cohort for beauty pros. And it's literally just proof that you can rewrite your story. I'm a young girl from the south side of Richmond, California, who they told me I did too much. They told me I was too loud. They told me nobody was going to want me. They told me all of the things. But God said otherwise. And here we are today.
Oh
Yes.
man, I hope people are listening and really receiving what you were given because it is gold. So
Yes.
let me ask you, what advice would you give to someone listening who feels stuck in shame about their body, their past, and their circumstances? I mean, you pretty much just laid it out, but speak directly to our listeners. And what would you tell them if they're in that place?
I would tell them take one step, okay? One step at a time. Like you got to crawl before you walk, right? You got to walk before you can run. And I always ask my mentees, how do you eat an elephant? And they be like, what is she talking about? An elephant is huge, right? It's pretty big, right? But if you eat it one bite at a time, that's how you can eat it, because certain things in our lives can feel like elephants, right?
Yeah.
Relationships, jobs that you want to shift or change. You want to change your pricing menu in your salon. You may want to enter into the world of influencing and things like that, right? But just know that take one step and don't wait for perfection. Perfection is never going to come. Like, one day is not a day of the week. Make a decision, and then also find community in the tools, in the mentorship, or even the coaching, right? So that you can help, so that you can be very intentional about your movement. Because there's a difference between being busy and being productive. So that's what I would say. And that's also why I offer free communities. Y'all gonna keep hearing me say it, because you gotta be the change that you want to see. And I know for some people that may sound cheesy, but I live that because I wish that I had it for myself. And I promise God, if you would show me the way, if you would show me what to do, give me the resources, God, like tell me what to do, which way to go, I promise I will come back and share it with your people. And that's literally what I'm committing my life to doing. So I would just say that if you're feeling, there's no such thing in shame. Okay. Please know that you are not the first one. You're not going to be the last. And while they talking about you, give them something to talk about.
I know that's right. Respectfully. No, really. Wow, Jazz. Where can the people find you? Give us all your social media, platforms, and then give us that one last piece of encouragement for our listeners in them seeking you out. So go.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So you can find me on Instagram, Styles by Jazz. Everything is spelled correctly, except for the Jazz has 3 Z's at the end because I'm extra like that. So StylesByJazz. You can also follow the Beauty Pro Network on Instagram as well. And you can also follow our salon, Renewed Hair Therapy, on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, all of those things. And if you've connected with my story, please feel free to join the Positively Plus community. It is an amazing space where women come together and we learn how to make healthy living a lifestyle. And so to join that community, all you have to do is pull out your phones, and you're going to act as if you're going to send me a text message. You're going to text the word plus, PLUS, to 1-844-237-9123 to help grow, learn different tools. You can learn what my routines are. We have guided exercises, all of the things in there to help you. And it's women only. So it's a space for us, by us. So again, thank you so very much, both of you, for this platform. Thank you for your love and for this amazing conversation. I feel so blessed, and I'm walking away so full from today.
We are too.
Absolutely. And we were so
Listen.
blessed to have you, sweetheart. You did a phenomenal job, because there are so many people out here that need that support, that community. And what you said resonated so well and hit home, because all 3 of us are beautiful plus size women, but we on a journey. We all on this weight loss journey to be fit and
Yes.
fabulous.
Yes.
So we are just so happy that you were on the show with us today. And let this be something for those who are watching or listening. Jazz, your story is proof that pain can be a wonderful teacher. I know it's painful, but pain can be a wonderful teacher. And triumph is possible when we refuse to let shame and struggle silence us. So thank you for opening up your journey with us today. And to our listeners, remember, no matter where you start from, financial hardship, family wounds, body image battles, your story doesn't end in pain. Like today's guest showed us, it can become a platform for purpose. Take that pain and turn it into purpose. And we'll see you next time on the Pain to Triumph podcast. And until then, keep walking, keep healing, and keep choosing triumph, because it is a choice. All right,
Yeah.
y'all.
All right.